Hey guys, Australian Open Day 2 has just finished and we had some huge names playing today. Some huge names. US Open champions, Daniil Medvedev and Raducanu, they started their campaigns. How do they go on? Well, if you don't know, no spoilers, we'll go through it. Leylah Fernandez as well, the US Open finalist, she was in action, as was Stefanos, Tsitsipas, and we had a few other very interesting matchups, upsets, and of course, players in action. Nick Curios, for example. Right, let's get into this. I don't want to take too long. Let's see if we can go through in 10 minutes. I'll try and do the preview as well for tomorrow's play. Before we get into that, please remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really does help us out. We're on the road to 2K subs. Let's try and get past that and get onto 5K subs. Ambitious, I know, but why not? Right, let's go. So, to start off, Tsitsipas versus Ivan was actually the evening game. That finished. Tsitsipas looked pretty good. It'll be interesting to see how far he can go with his elbow, but his route throughout this tournament is not too difficult. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the semi-finals. Can he go beyond that? Let's see. Riddinek came through against Popper. Good win for Riddinek in 5 sets. Good win. Baez versus Ramos Fernandez. That's a good win as well for him. Excuse my cough. Nick Kyrgios versus Liam Brody. I watched this. Nick Kyrgios. Now, there's always a worry that when Nick Kyrgios comes and he hasn't played much tennis like he did at Wimbledon, he's not really going to turn up and be as effective as maybe we think he's going to be because he's lacking match practice. What we forget is that he's played pretty much like that most of his career, and he has lived and dined on talent purely alone and a little bit of practice on the side. This was a very entertaining match. I watched most of it. Nick Kyrgios was on fire. He loved engaging with the crowd. The crowd got behind him, as you would expect in Australia. But to be fair, even at Wimbledon, they did as well. And he played some phenomenal tennis. Liam Brody definitely played his part. He's a solid player. Should be ranked higher than he is. Let's hope that he can keep on rising through the ranks. He's probably in his prime now. I think he's 30 years old. Or around about that age. So, yeah, Kyrgios, though, let's see how far he can go. He'll face Medvedev in the next round. So that'll be an interesting one. Musetti versus Demonet. Really good win for Demonet in the end. He was a set down and a breakdown, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But came on strong. Musetti, obviously, who had 2 sets to love up against Djokovic at the Roland Garros. Last year. But ended up losing that. Lost. He's exciting young Italian, but needs to learn and adapt on different surfaces. Good win for ADM. It would have been an upset if he'd lost. Seppi lost against Madrak. That's a good win for Madrak. TFO came through against Trungelti, I think. Hopefully I haven't butchered that name. In 5 sets. Again, exciting player. How far can he go? You know, probably second week is maybe a push for TFO, but you never know. ADF against Bolt. Good win for ADF in straight sets. Fritz as well. Good win for Fritz in straight sets against Martira. He's... Don't sleep on Fritz. He's not, in my eyes, a contender for the title, but he could do some damage. Dan Evans versus David Goffin. Good win for Dan Evans. I thought it was a tricky first round for him. So to come through 6-4, 6-3, 6 love. A bagel in there as well. Really impressive. Andahar versus Zumar. Good win for Andahar in straight. Small can against Saifulin in 4. And Daniel versus Barrios Vera in straight sets. Felix Auger-Aliassime. Now, this is a bit of a worry because we've seen this in previous Grand Slams. I thought maybe we were going to see an end to this, but Ruusuvuori is not an easy first round, to say the least, so maybe we can let him off. But he won the first set 6-4, then got bageled in the second set, 6-3, 3-6, 6-3, 6-4, came through in 5 sets. That will definitely have taken something out of him. Let's see how he is going forward, but that's a bit of a blow because his draw as well doesn't look horrendous. I'm expecting big things from him, but let's see how he gets on. Matchak versus Serendula, good win for Matchak. And Murray, of course, we had a huge amount of British players playing today. Andy Murray came through in 5 sets against Nicholas Basilashvili. Look at that. I mean, he would have been really disappointing not to take that tiebreak in the 4th set and then, not have to play that extra set. But in saying that, he got the win. Let's see how much, again, that has taken out of him because he did play last week as well. In Sydney, made the final there and lost to Karatsev. So, yeah, very, very interesting to see how he is going forward. Medvedev versus Laxonen, that's a good win for Medvedev. a couple of tight sets there, but he will be facing Curios, as I said. That will be an exciting second round. The pick, I can already say it's the pick for the second round in the men's side. Isn't it upset by Cressy? I said it could be an upset. Look at this. Not many breaks of serve there. Hey, 7-6, 7-5, 6-7, 6-7, 6-4. Good win for Cressy. Isner is dangerous, especially on these courts. Benoit Paire versus Montero, 1 in 5 sets. Good win for Paire. Sinner against Suso in straights. Good win for Sinner. Johnson beating Thompson. That's actually a pretty good win in 5 sets. Dimitrov versus Lehecka, won that in 4. Dimitrov, he should like this surface. Let's see how he goes in this tournament. Brankis beat Karabas Bayana in 5 sets. Rublev beat Maja in 3. Good win for him. Clinical. Same with Schwartzman over Krajinovic. Umber, this is a big disappointment for those Umber supporters. Gasquet, the wily veteran and compatriot of Umber, beat him in 4. Umber took the first set 6-3, but then lost the preceding tiebreakers, which will be really disappointing. 7-6, 7-6, and then lost the last set 6-3. And Gasquet will take some confidence from there, that's for sure. Cole Schreiber came through against Kecinato in straights. Gombos against Skatov did the same, but in 4 sets. Cilic came through in straights against Gomez. And Gaston, who had a really good Paris Masters, he lost in 4 sets. Got Bagel in the second set as well against O'Connell, one of the home players. Yeah, big upset for me. Gaston, I was expecting something interesting when we get to the second, third round. Van der Zandschulp beating Struff in straight sets. Obviously, he made a fantastic run at the US Open last year, so carrying on some of that form. And RBA beating Travaglia in 4 sets. Travaglia's a pretty tricky customer, so good win. Right, let's go through the women's then. So we've got some very interesting stuff going on in the women's. Kovinic beating Yang in 3. Kerber lost. Well, that's an upset. Kanepi beating Kerber. I said it would be a tough matchup, and it was. Kanepi beating Kerber. Collins beating Dollarhide in straights. Buskova beating Reno in straights. Sabalenka just getting through Sanders. I'm pretty sure she was a set and potentially a breakdown in the second set. She got through in the end, but that will definitely ring alarm bells for her. And she'll think, like, I can't let that happen again. But got through in the end. Haddad Meyer versus Volynets in 3 sets. Wang beating Lee in straights. Torsen beating Sharma in straights. Zhang beating Golubic in straights as well. And Konju beating Rogers, which is obviously a bit of an upset because Rogers had a really good US Open. That'll be disappointing for her. Zidansek beating Rus in 3 sets. And Heather Watson getting it done, which is good to see from a British perspective, winning in 3 sets. Raducanu beating Diaz, her compatriot, in 3 sets. And Halep coming through in straights against Frech. Samsonova winning in straight sets against Bektas, and Pavlyuchenkova against Bondar as well. Kasakina, she's a good little player, beating Vogel 6-3, 6-1. And the huge upset, Inglis, the home player, beating Leylah Fernandez 6-4, 6-2. Leylah Fernandez did have a slight niggle, I know, coming into this, but I know she won't make any excuses. That's a huge upset. A lot of people had a very high hopes for her, at least making the second week. So, yeah, upset for sure. Lynette beating Sevastova in straights. Baptiste beating Caroline Garcia. Good win for her in 3 sets. Vondrousova beating Hon in straights. And Swiatek, I mean, Harriet Dart is a good little player, but Swiatek just a level above, clearly winning 6-3 and bagling in the second set. Kontaveit coming through against Siniakova, impressive 6-2, 6-3. Cornet beating Tomova in straights. Kotrova beating Doi in straights, and Mertens beating Zvonareva. Good win for her in straight sets as well. Thank you to those who tune in for the watch along on Muguruza, but thank you for those who tune in for the watch along for Muguruza versus Burrell. Obviously, she came through 6-3, 6-4. Cersty upset Kvitova in straight sets. Good win. And I said Cersty, I said that she is the queen of upsets, and she's done it here again. Stosur beating Anderson in 3 sets. Good win for Stosur. Gavrilova, though, losing to Peterson in straight sets. And Begu beating Dodin in 3. Raducanu just finished this match. Absolutely blitzed Stevens in the first round, 6-love. It was vintage Raducanu from the US Open 2021. Second set, she fell away a little bit. Stevens came on stronger, won that one 6-2 Stevens. And it's the first set that Raducanu's dropped at a hardcourt Grand Slam, to be fair. But then the third set, she just came on strong again, 6-1 and blitzed her. Bagel and a breadstick. Raducanu definitely looked quite good. Obviously, she dropped a set, so she's not invincible. But promising signs because Stevens is probably one of the hardest draws she could have got, given, well, potentially anyway, given her seeding. So she'll be happy. The only other, maybe if she got Madison Keys, that was a pretty hard one as well, to be fair. Right, let's look at the men's singles draws for tomorrow, or roundups. I'm going to quickly give my predictions on each one. Sonego, Otter, Sonego. Shapovalov, Kwon, Shapovalov. Grigspor, Karena, Buster, PCB. Paul versus Kekmanovic, Paul. Apelka versus Kepfer, Apelka. Korda versus Mute, Korda. Alcaraz, Leovic, Alcaraz. Nadal, Hanfin, Nadal. Berrettini, Kozlov, Berrettini, Hachanov, Bonzi, Hachanov. Garen Martinez. I'm going to go Martinez. Karatsev, McDonald. Karatsev was tied in that one. I'm going to go Karatsev, but not with not much confidence. Her catch, Aryna, her catch. Albor, Vukic. I'm going to go Vukic. Millman, Zverev, and Monfils, Bublik. That could be an upset, by the way, Monfils, Bublik. But I'm going to go Monfils. But again, we're not a huge amount of certainty. Right, in the women's, we've got Svitolina Tan. I'm going to go Svitolina. Sorribes Tormo versus Kostyuk. I'm going to go Kostyuk. She's a really good player. I don't think she's going to cause the upset. Georgie Martinkova, Georgie, Azarenka Teichmann, that could be an upset as well, but I'm going to go Azarenka. Badosa versus Trevisan, I'm going to go Badosa. Barty versus Bronzetti, Barty. Pera Pagula, I'm going to go Pagula. Risk versus Ostapenko, I'm actually going to go Alison Risk. Madison Keys, Christian, Madison Keys. Bencic, Anisimova, Bencic. Krejcikova, Wang, I'm going to go Krejcikova. Wang versus Van Uytvanck, I'm going to go Wang. Zanevska versus Parizas Diaz, I'm going to go Zanevska. Kudermetova versus Rus, I'm going to go Kudermetova. Sakari Zeng, I'm going to go Sakari. And Osaka versus Brendel, I'm going to go Osaka. Right, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please do remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got some really exciting matches on tomorrow as well. I'm looking forward to them. And of course, from Thursday onwards, I will be doing probably more than one stream a day for the watch-alongs. So do keep an eye out for that. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Stay safe and well, and I'll see you on the next video.